Okay, today we're going to go over an API 653 inspection report. Right here, I've got a inspection report on. I think this is actually a cut and cover tank. So meaning that the tank you enter above ground, but the tank is actually covered by earth. So we'll go through this. This is a modified API 650 off-stream inspection at this particular facility in the United Kingdom. And there's your inspector's license, and we'll go through this one by one. You got all the signatures you need by the inspectors, your table of contents telling you what to expect, your inspection summary, your introduction, your inspection details, your inspection results, and then your appendix, your tank bottom results, your inspection measurements, your compliance calculations, your inspection checklist. So we start out with an inspection summary, and it'll tell you, hey, we did this 653 inspection, and the way they have this set up is they have the different subtitles listed: safety in general, and then the condition from 0 to 4. 0 being not applicable, meaning it wasn't part of this tank inspection, to 1 being a mandatory repair group 1, 2 being a mandatory repair group 2, 3 being a recommended repair group 3, and 4 a future recommended repair. So they're basically summarizing what areas of the tank need to be repaired, and they're giving you the location of where to find it. So basically, if an executive comes to make a decision whether they want to repair the tank, they'll know exactly, okay, I need to repair the internal equipment piping, and I need to go to section 425. And basically, they summarize it in this particular matter. I haven't seen this way of summarizing it too often, but again, it's just up to the inspector, up to the report writer, how they want to summarize the results. But you can see they summarize the foundation, the bottom, the shell, the fixed roof. And then this is the repair groups we were talking about earlier. Repair group 1, required repairs to return to facility service. Repair group 2, repairs that are performed while the facility is in service, so the tank can be in service while they repair it. 3, recommend repairs not required to return the facility to service. So part 1, group 1 is mandatory. 3 is whenever you find time. And this is where they list all the repairs for this particular tank. Refit the earthing strips to the flame arresters. Perform patch repairs on internal coating when necessary. Repair 2 locally anomalies of top curb to shell connection. Repair railing and stairs. Install brackets under the sump drain. Remove accumulated water from the concrete. Excavation on all vents. Consider the repairs of the corner weld. Replace flanges of the 4 manholes. Remove the sample hatch, ATG, and stilling well. All these little repairs that they need to do, but it's not mandatory. And then they give, you'll see this a lot, they'll give the next inspection date. Here it's 5 years for an in-service inspection. So you got your recommended inspection interval. You got the introduction. Well, they'll tell you who carried out the survey, what the tank's name is, facility location, and they'll give a brief summary of all the standards and what they cover and what's not covered. So we'll move on. You'll see this too, references that are reflected on the report, and inspection condition and HEI inspection restrictions, survey details. You'll get the NDD techniques here. Just the level, when they shoot the level on the tank, what equipment they use. Basically, they're giving a summary there. Abbreviations, every abbreviation used in a report, you gotta find what it means for people that aren't in the field or wouldn't know. Here's just your tank details, what the product is, specific gravity of product, storage temperature, design pressure, design vacuum, product inflow rates, product outflow rates, manufacturer, design standard, construction date, nameplate, diameter, height, maximum filling height, roof type, constructions, insulation, internal coating, roof slope, number of columns, main material, construction, the internal coating, wind stiffeners, top curb angle dimensions, anchors, installation date, bottom plate thicknesses, construction, if there's an annular ring. Then they start to, section 4 start to give you the actual inspection results. They tell you how they isolated the tank for entry, tell you they checked the gas levels, tell you the roof structure. They're just giving you an overview of the safety and a history of the tank, when it was constructed, when it was last inspected, housekeeping. Then we actually go through the different categories and structures of the tank. First they start with the accessing the tank, the handrails, the cage, the internal equipment and piping of the tank. They give you pictures of the internals, different legs, support legs, different flanges. They'll give you some of the valves, some of the problems in the valves. They'll show a picture, electric components, instrumentation. The following are present: tank radar, independent working, high level, high alarms, overfill protection, tank gauges, mechanical level gauges, LDS sensors. And they'll give you different corresponding pictures as well. You gotta check for level alarms, the height of the high level, the high level alarm. Here they give you basically the equipment room on that. Firefighting equipment, is your tank have foam protection or any other type of flame arresters as well. Here we see the venting of the tank. We got pressure vacuum vents installed, size, pressure settings, all that, flame arresters. They say there's water present in the excavations. See some water down here present. Then you go through the foundation, full concrete containment. Tank bottom. They did an MFL survey, meaning they had these it looks almost like a vacuum cleaner with a huge magnet on the bottom, so they could see if there's any breaks in the metal structure, any pitting, that type of stuff. The critical zone, 3 inches from the outside weld of the tank, they'll check there, where the tank is welded from the bottom plate to the shell that is vertical. So at 3 inches around, the critical zone is in compliance. Okay, so they check the bottom plates. I'm not going to read through them all, but they'll give you what's wrong. I'll take pictures of anything unusual. The bottom welds, you can see there's some corrosion here. Maybe they need to recoat it. Bottom repairs and attachments. Just giving you a basic understanding of what to expect to see in these reports. The bottom lining, more pictures. The bottom sump, this is where they suck the fuel out at the bottom. You'll have a water draw off as well. And then they'll talk about cathodic protection, not there. Then the actual tank shell. So they did a shell survey. There are 3 butt welds present. UT spot measurements to not reveal any thinning. So there'll be a separate appendix where they'll give you the actual UT readings, whether it'll be usually they're about 1/4 inch thick plates. So it'll be like 2.50 inches, and there'll be some corrosion, so you might see 2.2, 0.22 or 0.20, 0.199, and you can do your corrosion rate calculations. Then they did the coating survey. You can see some of the coating being removed here. yeah, they're just this is probably washable, but giving you an idea where the coating's in bad shape and where it may be needed recoating. Just going through the shell, the top curb, lap welds. Here we see some major corrosion. They did a differential settlement survey. It's basically saying what the foundation is doing underneath the tank. I have an Excel spreadsheet that helps you do that. You shoot a laser at the tank, all around the tank from different spots, and then you put the information into the spreadsheet, and it'll tell you if it's within tolerance of whether the tank is level or not, the ground underneath it. Okay, so we're going to the fixed roof. You can see all the leg supports there, flat supported roof type. They do UT spot measurements, support structures of the roof. You can see here more coating survey information. Roof, all the roof nozzles and whatnot on top. More UT readings there. And then you get to the appendix where we get through the, here is the MFL survey where they have the magnetic flux, a piece of equipment, measure the bottom plates, and they give you some of the metal loss information and some of the other information there. They give you a floor map of all the plates in the floor and all the welds. They give you information about metal loss, and they'll just sit in records until something more serious happens. Okay. Just going through more of the metal loss. Inspection measurements, Appendix B. You'll have your ultrasonic equipment. You'll have information of what UT meter you use, the calibration, the material used, the frequency, all that about, the UT meter. And then you'll get the actual measurements of all the pipe, all the plates, all the appendages that were measured using UT. You'll get, a picture of how they were taken as well. Ultrasonic inspection bottom projection, more information about the plate measurements and the thicknesses. Usually you don't need to look through that too much unless you're doing like a corrosion rate analysis on it, and the inspector should point that out in the report. Ultrasonic inspection shell course, more UT readings where they're taken and organized into a table. Coating inspection, they're going to tell you the different, how much coating you have left in micrometers, it looks like. And then the roof, they went through and did a UT on the roof, and then they're going to organize that and tell you on the pictures. Nozzles, they did UT readings on the nozzles. There they list all the different nozzles, outlets, and pumps and inlets. Roof column, did they do UT on the roof columns? What did they do here? Anyways, you usually don't see that. Corner weld measurements, your throat thickness and your leg length on this this weld that goes across the bottom plate where it meets the vertical plates or the shell. Top curb and stiffness measurements. Here you see they did a lot on this inspection. A lot of this isn't going to usually be standard, so this is a lot of measurements here. Usually you're just going to have your settlement survey, some UT measurements, and depending on the contract, MFL or UT measurements on the bottom. Here's a differential survey I was talking about. You put this into a spreadsheet, and you get within a certain tolerance, and if you need to take action on the ground below the tank. Edge measurements, edge settlement measurements, same thing. You take your survey points with your laser around the tank and you plug it into the spreadsheet. Plumbness measurements. Sometimes you'll do the plumbness or the roundness of the tank. You know, seeing if it's distorting on the outside shell. They took some survey points to do that. And there's all your equipments. Out of roundness survey, again, you know, all this depends on the contract and the scope of work. Compliance calculations. See here what they got here. Just the thickness, the welds are in criteria. You'll have your corrosion rates and whatnot over here, your pits. Just a lot of information to go through. I mean, this video could be, you know, an hour, 2 hours long, depending on, you know, if we break everything down into little parts. But I just wanted to give an overview of what, you know, API 653 inspection report looks like. Tank bottom assessment, you know, the remaining life of the tank based on your corrosion rates. Tank shell assessment, liquid loads and stuff, whether you need to reduce the liquid level based on the thickness. That's another thing you could do. I don't think there's any restrictions here. You have to do those calculations as well. You put those in a spreadsheet. Tank shell assessment, uniform load. Just going through this quickly. Tank shell assessment, remaining life. So you can see there's a lot of information that goes in these reports. Tank settlement assessment. And the people reading these reports, making these decisions, aren't going to necessarily know what all this stuff means or even care to go through it. Usually I have an engineer review it or something. But yeah, the inspector will make their recommendations. As long as everything's hunky-dory, you know, none of this information is going to be looked at. But as soon as something goes wrong, then you know, you get people that get sued and stuff. So there's your out-of-service checklist. Right there, you get the standard on the API 653 report. Go through and do all the checklists, and that's pretty much it. All your pictures, all your measurements, and kind of give you an overview of what API 653 report looks like. So if you like this content, you want to see more, you want to see a section broken down, I plan on going through some of this stuff in the future. But yeah, thank you for your time.